When you're driving a Formula One car, you cannot be tense. You're strapped in, you feel every movement, you're part of the car, and if you're tense with the car, it slides that little bit more. You must relax and let the car do the work.
He's down at the first split. That was a very heavy collision with the Armco. Let's hope they're all right.
The team will almost certainly use this stop to replace his front wing.
He'll be very aware that races can be won or lost in the pit lane. Fourth gear, third gear, down into second. Third, he's down at the first split. Up into second, up into third, up into fourth, fifth gear, sixth gear. That's intermediate 2, and he's slower than his best. That was a bit of a scrape along the Armco. Fourth gear. And it's a good first split time. Let's have a look at his practice time so far. He's faster than his previous best at split 2. Excellent! His times are really coming down. Go! A new TAR ruling for 1997 is that the teams have to decide in advance which compound to use for both qualifying and the race. And having done so, they're limited to a maximum of 28 TARs. Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. That's the fastest time over the first sector we've seen today. He's up on the leader at intermediate 2.
Each tyre manufacturer supplies two different compounds, a hard one and a soft one. The teams have to decide after the practice sessions which compound they will use for both qualifying and the race. They have to decide whether or not to use soft tyres, which are faster but may involve having an extra pit stop.
It's truly! That was a bit of a scrape along the arm cone. It's incredible! These drivers are controlling a car about half the weight of a Mini, and these things can accelerate to about 150 miles an hour in 6.5 to 7 seconds. That first split time is actually faster than the current fastest qualifying lap. Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. He's up on the leader at intermediate 2. Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. This is picturesque Monaco in Monte Carlo, the most famous Grand Prix of the motor racing season, and jewel in the crown of Formula One. The atmosphere here is incredible, but often the narrow, twisty course and the lack of overtaking opportunities can make the race itself a bit of a foregone conclusion. But this was emphatically not the case last year. Drama seemed to follow drama. Schumacher going out on the first lap, Hill and De Lacy both taking the lead and then retiring, and then Olivier Panis coming out the eventual well-deserved winner. Let's hope today's race will be just as eventful. The drivers are lined up on the grid now, preparing themselves for the start. The red lights are beginning to come on. And it's go, go, go! Unbelievable! He's hit Ralf Schumacher. Excellent! That was a superb start. I think the two cars may just have touched. If he can keep his place, he'll finish in the points. Truly, that was definitely a knock on the barrier. Lap 2. And the gap is closing. Race order. Williams number 1. Heitz Harold Frentzen, Eddie Irvine, Michael Schumacher. He's closing the gap. Fifth position now. Into lap 3. His lap time is quicker than the car he's chasing. He's done a fantastic job. And the gap is closing. He's closing the gap. He's hit Michael Schumacher. The yellow flags are being waved by the marshals. That's a warning. Some kind of accident. Yes! Moving nicely through the field now. That's 4th. The race is underway again. The green flags are out. Lap will certainly help him catch the car in front. He's definitely gaining. He's coming up from behind now. That's up into second. Half of this Grand Prix is behind the drivers now. Half still to go. He's closing the gap in front. Race order. Williams number 1. Jarno Trulli. Heitz Harold Frentzen. Eddie Irvine. He's definitely gaining. He's coming up from behind now. Truly, that was a bit of a scrape along the Armco. Remarkable! He's closing the gap in front.
He's a real veteran of Formula One, and it shows in the maturity of his driving.
He's closing the gap. The gap is growing. That's a Minardi. That was definitely a knock on the barrier. He's closing the gap in front.
With the 107% rule of the past couple of years, we're seeing that the tail-end teams have had to sharpen up their act and spend longer making sure they can do competitive time. This means that the gap between the qualifying time from the front to the back of the grid is now much less.
He's coming up from behind now. He's swarming about all over his gearbox. Now he's in first place. Race order. Jarno Trulli. Williams number 1. Heitz Harold Frentzen. Eddie Irvine. There are only 3 laps left in this race now. It's the penultimate lap. Only one more lap to go. Race order: Jarno Trulli, Williams number 1. Eddie Irvine, Heights Harold Frenson. It's Trulli! That was definitely a knock on the barrier. He crosses the line to euphoric applause.